Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into the Inside Arkansas Hoop Hogs video mailbag. I'm Curtis Wilkerson with the pod at the Palace. And I'm looking forward to talking some Razorback basketball after talking a lot about that Arkansas football game on Saturday. So this is a nice reprieve from that. Let's see what question we have coming in today. It's from Cole Phillips. He says, in light of recent news, how do you think we match up with Kansas? Purdue game last year was a lot of fun. This should be a great game too. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. Arkansas is becoming the kings of doing these Super Bowl exhibition games, I guess. Like you think about Texas a couple years ago, that was a big one. Obviously, Purdue last year, like you mentioned, that atmosphere was electric. It was really cool. And in some cases, you take those results with a grain of salt, right? Because you're still very much learning about your team. But I think you get way more benefit out of that than you do playing, no disrespect, Roger State or whoever they brought in there in the past for some of those D2 lower level games. It's kind of like football team with UAPB versus these other games that they played. Did we really learn more about Arkansas in that 70-0 win than we did in this game against UAB? Maybe. I think there's something to be said for really testing yourself and challenging yourself, and Arkansas needs to do that because it gets real early for them. But in terms of the matchup, I love it because this, quite honestly, it's very cliche. I get it, but it's one of those situations where it's like, oh, this could be a preview of a Sweet 16 matchup or whatever. It could. Both of these teams are going to be really good. Kansas, there's an argument to be made. I think that they could be the number one team in the country in the preseason. Alabama is probably going to be up there. UConn, just because they're back-to-back defending champs, is going to be up there. But Kansas is loaded, man. Bill Self has himself a squad there. So yeah, let's talk about it. Right? I'm sure as we get closer, we'll dive in even deeper. But this is a really good matchup, a good measuring stick for Arkansas for so many reasons. Bill Self is one of the best to do it, and people can call him, cheater paying his players back in the day, whatever, with the Adidas thing. But honestly, from a recruiting and a philosophical, just coaching standpoint, he's really, really good. So a nice matchup here between him and Cal. But the on-court matchups are what I'm really intrigued by. You see Hunter Dickinson in the photo here. This is just a great test out of the gates for Arkansas's front court to see the progress they've made, whether that's Jonas Adu or Big Z. Hunter Dickinson's one of the best centers in the country. He can score it around the rim. He's well over 7 feet tall, very skilled around the basket. And he can also step out and shoot the three really, really well. Very, very nice offensive piece. How is Arkansas going to be able to handle that? Adu was so improved last season at Tennessee, had an all-SEC type of year. But it is a fair criticism when people point out that against some of the better big men, he struggled. Didn't do well against Zach Edey. Didn't do well against Ryan Kalkbrenner. Janai Broom at Auburn had his way with him. Tolu Smith gave him some problems. So you want him to take a step forward from being better than the average centers or better than the good ones. You want Jonas Adu to be in that elite category, right? And so playing one of the elite centers in an exhibition game, great barometer for him. Last year we were able to see Chandler Lawson really emerge and defend Zach Edey. And that's when you realize, oh, this dude might be a legitimate post defender. So not only will we be able to see if Jonas Adu is better equipped to handle that assignment defensively, but how is Arkansas going to be able to take advantage of Dickinson on the other end of the floor? Because he is a little bit of a liability on the other ends. Like, can Big Z stretch the floor on him? Can Adu, get over the top of him with those jump hooks? I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I think that's the most fascinating part about this. And then you keep moving on down the line. Like, you think about Kansas's four-man. You'll remember him from when Arkansas played him in Des Moines at the NCAA tournament, KJ Adams. He's 6'7", 240, 245 pounds, just a super athlete. He looks like an NFL defensive end. He's got the biggest calves I've ever seen on a human. I remember that distinctly, sitting on press row and going, this dude looks like a football player. But if you're thinking about your four spot, Trevin Brazile, for example, Arkansas wants him to be an attack dog. They want him to be more physical, tougher. Well, what better matchup for him than a physical, tough, traditional four-man like KJ Adams? It's a good assignment to see what kind of progress Brazile has made. It's also good for Adu Thiero, who is a jumbo wing that's going to play quite a bit at the four for Arkansas this year. He's got the size at 6'8", 220 pounds. In most situations, he's going to be able to handle that assignment just fine. But when you face a guy like a KJ Adams, who's an elite athlete with size and strength, how does he hold up defensively, especially? I'm going to be interested to see that. You think about in the backcourt, DeJuan Harris, one of the best point guards in terms of facilitation in the country. He's also one of the better on-ball perimeter defenders in the country. I'd love for Boogie Fland to get that assignment out of the gates. Freshman, we're going to throw you into the fire. You're going to understand what it's like to be defended by one of the best in the country. That's going to be a great learning experience for him. Probably come with some turnovers and some mistakes, but you like to start getting those things out of the way early on. Love that assignment. AJ Storr, just one of the most talented scoring, wings guards in the country. Really, really good creator of offense. That's going to be a great look at where is Carter Knox at defensively. Can Nelly Davis handle assignment against somebody who's a little bit taller and longer? I just love this matchup for Arkansas. I really do. I think we're going to learn a lot about them early on, and it's going to give John Calipari a really good idea of what the strengths are going to be for this team early and some of the things they have to work on moving forward. He's going to say it a million times between now and that game. What you see from Arkansas in these early exhibitions and early games in the season, not going to be what you see at the end of the year. He's really big on the process, peaking at the right time. And so he's going to be preaching that. And this is going to be a great opportunity to learn about him. But yeah, Kansas is good. I mean, we mentioned all of those guys there, but they've also got, Rylan Griffin from Alabama, a knockdown 3-point shooter. They went and got Zeke Mayo. If you guys remember him from South Dakota State, he was on those teams with the kid from Creighton. His name escapes me all of a sudden. I don't know why, because I wish Arkansas would have got him. But on those NCAA tournament teams there, he was the Summit League Player of the Year last year. Zeke Mayo, man, he's really good, and he's probably going to be coming off of their bench. They've got Shaq Moore, a name that we know from Mississippi State for the last couple of years, a solid guard. They've got a really good freshman big man coming in. So Kansas is national championship caliber deep. They've got a lot of experience. They've got a really good 1-2 punch, front court, back court. And it's going to challenge this Arkansas team right out of the gate. So I think it's a banger. We're going to learn quite a bit about the Razorbacks in this one. And I think, and we'll see how it shakes out, but I think that's going to be our first actual look at them. We don't have the date, or at least at the time that I'm recording this, we don't have the specific date just yet. But I've been hearing November 1st for that TCU exhibition, which leads me to believe that this Arkansas-Kansas thing is going to be, the last week of October or whatever. So then we'll be able to see how they clean it up, how they travel, and what they do against another, Big 12 team. It's not going to be as good as Kansas is, but still another good barometer for them. So no, I like that question, Cole. I appreciate it. It makes me excited to start talking about games and matchups and opponents and everything like that. The season can't get here quick enough. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I know that everybody's excited about it. And they're getting ready to start practices here pretty soon, so we'll start learning more about this team and where they're at out of the gate. So appreciate the question, and just a reminder, as always, if you've got a question about this basketball team, throw it at me. I do have on my Twitter profile a pin thread at Kurt Wilkerson _ You'll see it, the Hoop Hogs video mailbag. If you have a question, throw them in the comments. If you watch these videos, stumble across them on YouTube, you can throw a question in the comments there. I will find them and we will answer them. We put these out every single day at 8 a.m. We want to do one per day until we get to the start of the college basketball season. So make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel at Inside Arkansas, and keep following along with us. Keep contributing to the conversation, the engagement, the interaction. Really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. And I'm going to get out of here because we're going to record another one of these for tomorrow. But appreciate you guys as always. It's been Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas. We'll see you again bright and early.